What's up guys, welcome back. So, Challenger appears KASHTIRA. It's a new, well, you know, it has been out in the OCG for quite some time, and even though Yugioh tier is still the best deck with their, you know, new format, a couple of weeks into their new format, the KASHTIRA cards from the newest OCG set, they kinda tear through the format. They kinda warp the format as well. I think, yeah, indeed, I've done a video already about these new cards, and I'm looking at their new Exceed monster, a Rise Heart, right? Basically a Macrocosmos on legs. The new Hero Lifts card, they got a couple of new extenders in the form of, you know, new KASHTIRA cards, monsters, right? Mainly focused on those rank 7 Exceed plays, obviously. Baron is there as well as a potential synchro play with one of your hand traps. I'm looking like, you know, just Ash Blossom mainly, right? So let's see. 2 losses and then the game is over, right? At least the episode ends, I guess. But, this was a massacre. Okay, so KASHTIRA goes first here in this situation against Adam and Sapater. So again, that won the Cross-Banlist Cup series a couple of years ago, even though the deck list was a bit different. That's important. Anyway, so you know KASHTIRA, they are very straightforward. You want to go for Shangri-La first, the most side, at least on the left side, right? And every time a card from the opponent is banished face down, they'll lose like a zone. So either a monster zone or spell and trap card zone, right? So you can basically Ochama-like block them from from playing the game. And as you know, thanks to is it Mind Hacker? It's a previous Shonen YCS prize card, and it got reprinted. Was it Ghost from the Past? I think so. You know, it banishes cards from your opponent's extra deck face down eventually, and then, you know, that will trigger your Shangri-La as well. The ball goes rolling, and blocking all 5 main monster rooms from your opponent, it's hard for a lot of decks to, you know, play through that, right? They need, especially in, like, you know, best of ones, not too many decks are main decking stuff like Lightning Storm, Raigeki, Darkhold, Dark Ruler. You know, those cards there are definitely needed. Game number 2 or 3, especially against, you know, KASHTIRA, right? And that's why this deck is so ridiculous, especially against a lot of the older decks. Okay, so 1-0 for the Challenger. Second duel against True King Dinosaur Yangzing. Yups, KASHTIRA again going first, and like with the new support from, is it Photon? I forgot the set name. You know, the newest OCG set, Hypernova, I think. They got a field spell, it's so powerful, ridiculous that it has so many effects, plus searching and popping as well. They got more extenders, so you're not forced to run dangers as well. So this deck is so consistent, and the thing is that a lot of these decks already have Maxi, so you know that's kind of equalizing the playing field. And you know, double call by the one cross out, and I believe double talents are there as well. This is, by the way, on the OCG list from you know, Road of the King, featured on Road of the King. Anyway, so what is it? 2 main monster zones left, and like as soon as your opponent dedicates a card to the field, you can use your Rise Heart, Detach 3, and then, you know, banish a card from your opponent face down. But again, because of all the cards are banished, you can like trigger the spell, like the Hero Lifts spell, every time once per turn, get back a banished, like a KASHTIRA card back to the hand. It's so ridiculous. The Kaiju here, strange. I'm not sure if that Kaiju was the correct one. It's fine though, whatever. 2-0. Invoked Dragoon, or Invoked Dragon, as you know it was called back in the OCG, early 2020 if I'm not mistaken, but you know, a deck that's based on its extra deck, and where Dragoon, there's 2 Dragoon here in their extra deck, and as you know, this deck just, you know, plows through the extra deck. You can pick 2 cards. Well, eventually the Mind Hacker will pick one. Mind Hacker, I believe the name is, yeah, it should be. And then I believe Unicorn will be the other one, picking that extra deck, at least one of the extra deck cards, I think. So again, Mind Hacker hits the field, banishing a card face down, that triggers, you know, the Shangri-La as well, blocking probably a main monster zone, the third one. And again, every time a card is banished, that includes both players, you can use your Macrocosmos Rise Heart to attach one of your, at least any banished card to you know, one of its exceed materials. So Dusty here, it's a bit iffy, but I mean, it's fine though. The trap triggers, I think, yeah, it gets it back to the hand. The Rise Heart, the level 4 extender, I guess. It also pumps itself to level 7 if needed, and I mean, that's the thing, right? Both Unicorn and Fenrir also have the capabilities to banish cards face down, and those mills. Oh, this deck is so ridiculous. I'm not sure who's looking forward to this, you know, full power. It's really not fun to play again, especially if you're going second. You need some very specific cards to deal with this particular, you know, shenanigans, right? I mean, who knows, it might be better to go after the back row first. Yeah, it might be. Depends on the matchup, but I guess, you know, hitting stuff like Dark Rule or something like that. And that's okay, going second, something that we haven't seen, I haven't talked about. It's a deck that main decks Shifter to its fullest power as well, so... yes, you just say no against here, at least in this case against Tritron, right? Again, I can go full combo because you have like 3 field spell, triple Fenrir that can surge the missing, you know, KASHTIRA monster, and they have like their own monster reborn, their own double summon, they own their own hero lifts. The deck is so mind-blowingly consistent, right? So again, this is already game over though, because again it's main phase, or at least turn number 2, and due to Shifter, I know the OTK, right? It should be. And oh, the Herald was not live. Right. Imagine Herald being live, then Shifter would not have, you know, resolved. We might have had a bit of a different tool. Talons there, Imperm there, who knows. But yeah, that's how it is. That's, you know, why Shifter is so ridiculous. True Draco Zodiac, next opponent, so going strong still. This was a good one, so again, go second, and my opening hand is okay. The middle KASHTIRA monster is basically a level 7 extender. It's very similar to the, what is it, not 6 Samurai, but the Samurais, you know, the ones that can attack when they are in defense position. Which ones I mean. So double field spell, it's not the best. I mean, the field spell again once per turn, so it's kind of dead card. So now I'm only playing with 3 cards, and I believe using Ash was okayish. You know, preventing Barrage and, well, eventually their field spell was there, but, you know, preventing Barrage to pop Ram, and then, you know, that could potentially lead to another rank 4 exceed play. Another Ash, not the best, but again, I tried to go for Baron here, force out the barrier, and now I was like, ooh, the barrier probably should have called Exceed, but I guess, I mean, if it wasn't for this one, it's also one of the new link monsters for hire. You know, it pops a card from your opponent as well, popping itself. It's very similar to Diamond Dire Wolf, and that at the same time, what was it, forces out... the Trident, I think so, and that cleans my own board, so I can, you know, pump out all of those, you know, KASHTIRA monsters. And the thing is that, like one field spell, as you saw in one of the previous duels, or previous, you know, replays as well, one field spell is basically full combo, because again, everything searches each other. Especially if you have Unicorn, Surge spell, Search Fenrir, and that's, you know, again, full combo with this, right? So Shangri-La on field, and there's still 2 free monster zones, but again, if your opponent commits to the field, you can use your Arise Heart to banish something face down, detach 3, right? But again, that triggers the spell, the Hero Lift spell, to get something from your banished pile back to the hand, and again, every time a card is banished, you can attach something from both banished piles to the Macrocosmos on leg. So, and okay, the Apocalypse, is it? No, it's not Apocalypse, the attack reducer, you know which one I mean, the trap, right? It's still there, but again, all the cards sent to the graveyard are banished instead. So is it Heritage? I believe it's Heritage. Again, won't trigger because it would be banished if it's you know, sent to the graveyard by the True Draco trap. So this eventually is going to be my duel, even though it wasn't looking too great, especially because of the dimensional barrier earlier. But again, one card just changes the duel entirely. Again, that field spell is so ridiculous, very similar to the Tear Element field spell, right? Both are very similar, but I mean, Konami knows how to make, you know, an archetype really, really busted and strong. Like here in this case, a Macrocosmos on legs, a powerful field spell, Fenrir is already broken. A Unicorn here in this deck is ridiculous as well. Also a 1-card full combo, and then, you know, the interaction of the Macrocosmos, Shangri-La, and the Mind Hexor, or Crusher. It's a ridiculous deck. It's really, really ridiculous. So 5-0, going strong still haven't lost 2. We are alright. Again, 2 losses, the game is over. Going second against Frog FTK and Mexi kinda helps. The thing is that what were my Imperm? Yeah, Imperm. So I guess, well, I guess you could go for it, hope that I'm not drawing those 3 Imperms, but I mean, let's face it, 1 Imperm on a substitute early, that's probably game. Because I don't think you can, you know, pump multiple frogs in your graveyard by the time that I, you know, at least draw one impermanence, right? But the thing is that, okay, you can end on double dupe, but what's that going to do without any form of interruption, no? Because again, like this deck has so many 1-card full combos, and with that I mean Shangri-La, the Macrocosmos, Mind Hex, the Mind Crusher, right? The rank 7 that banishes a card from your opponent's extra deck face down, gets the ball rolling. Plus Fenrir can not attack yet, but I mean the Exceed, the Macrocosmos can just detach 3 and then banish a card from your opponent, right? So that gets me out of the dupe lock, and I can just freely attack for a game again. So basically, the thing is that with Frog FTK, the deck is mind-blowingly consistent, but it's very fragile to modern-day hand traps, Veiler, Mexi, if you're able to draw into the other, you know, crucial hand traps like, you know, Nibiru, or not in this case, but Veiler or Imperm here. So it is what it is. Go second against Domain, and this was a nice one as well. So, is it Erebus? Yeah, Erebus sends back, I believe, Unicorn. That's not good. Unicorn is a very powerful starter, but again, Prosperity is there. I have a Field Spell Searcher, so okay, the Field Spell there could give me another pop eventually, but I need to get my extra deck going. So I need to either get rid of the Domain or Erebus here in this case. Probably, you know, preferably Domain. So use the Field Spell Search, I believe it was Fenrir, and immediately get blown away by, you know, Stormfort, Ether. Okay, so double tribute, so again, I need to get rid of the Domain. But Prosperity is still there as probably one of my only outs here in this situation. But I used Mexi. In hindsight, that wasn't the correct play, because that shuts down my my pot, and I was kinda lucky to draw another Fenrir. I made a small mistake. I was rushing it a bit, and instead of dropping the Earth one, I should have dropped the Water one, and then, you know, that would have given me the necessary attack boost to attack over all of the monsters on my opponent's side of the field. It's a small mistake. It's not going to matter too much, because again, my field spell pops the Domain. And I went for the, you know, what is it called, Mind Hacker, but there is no extra deck. I probably should have gone for Dracosec, right? But, I mean, again, the deck is so much fuel, so much, like look at this, so many extra deck plays left, and I can still go for Dracosec, you know, popping the return, and I think I have a Rise Heart still to banish the Ether face down. I mean, the Ether will be bounced back to the hand, but most importantly, I can just, you know, block my opponent's main monster zones, no? So I plus get Fenrir for free on board. Ah, it's so broken. So broken. And yeah, I can use the spells effect. I believe it's, when my opponent uses a spell effect or something like that, I can target, what is it, up to 3 cards in my opponent's graveyard and banish them face down. It's an effect that a lot of people overlook. Don't forget that. Okay, so going second against Spellbooks, and from the previous Challenger Appears series, if I remember correctly, Spellbooks was one of those decks that I believe kicked out a lot of the older decks here, at least the older decks in the Challenger Appears series. And it's going to be the same this time, so small spoiler, but my hand wasn't the best. I should have used Maxi here, maybe for the one draw, who knows. The call by is iffy to hit, you know, Blue Boy, but that Secrets draw here in the draw phase, that was just too much. And power as well, and then, you know, because of the Star Hall, the Blue Boy will get 100 extra attack to attack over Rise Heart, and now the game is pretty much lost. I can't use, well, again, I should have shotgunned Maxi sooner. Fenrir can be used if I, you know, shut on Yugioh, but yeah, Spellbook of Wisdom, I believe the name is, says no, and I lose one. And my hand wasn't the best. Okay, so next one again, Sword Soul again, one more loss and then the game is over. I mean, I think I have to shotgun the Shifter because of this, right? Because of, what is it called? Long one. Because of Circle, but I mean, I guess you could wait if there's a Circle or something like that, but I think it was worth it because of this, right? You don't want to give, like, Sword Soul free Tenyies or free Worms in the graveyard. I can capitalize on the Baron Pass and, you know, use Big Eye and have a couple of interruptions here. So Fenrir activates Banishing Visuda. Circle, it's Circle, right? No, it's not Circle. Cycle, yeah. Cycle, and eventually, you know, that leads into a Call by the Grave activation, and now the game is over. Use my normal summon without tribute requirements thanks to the continuous field spell, and that gets the ball rolling. But, ooh, this one is so cool. Again, okay, go second against Revered Rulers. They start, you know, draw phase, draw one, the old school ruling. 6 cents, calling 5/6, rolling is 6. So, okay, luckily, Maxi can be stopped off of Cross-Out Designator, so I'm still very much live in a duel, but duel is not over yet. So, okay, I can go full combo, try to go for full combo, and Prosperity now is still live. So, I dig for 6, and again, the deck has so many 1-card starters, 1-card full combo plays. Maxi has been stopped, and I think there's only potential failure to stop this potential play, but there is no failure, so I can go for full combo. Use Unicorn, use Fenrir to search Rise Heart, drop Rise Heart, use its effect to banish any KASHTIRA card from the deck, which is always going to be the trap, because again that extends into one of the attached to Shangri-La special summon Fenrir that was detached from the Shangri-La. Go for full combo again. And I'm pretty much live again in the duel. Crazy stuff. So go for Fenrir first, right? I still have my battle phase, and again Prosperity makes it so that all damage is halved, so I don't think I was able to go for a game. And yeah, deal some damage, 2000 left, but again, go for Mind Hacker, Banish, I can't remember, one of the most important extra deck cards, maybe something like Crimson Blader or Big Eye was the first one. So blocking the main monster zones and set the Big Bang right just in case. So here in this case, if my opponent commits to the board, then the game is pretty much over, right? I can just block all main monster zones, and there is one main monster zone left, I think. It should be. So this is all good. Fenrir is there, again potentially banishing a card from the opponent face down. Blaster is committed to the field, so we can shotgun that with the Rise Heart, right? Banishing it face down, and then block all the main monster zones. And I don't think, especially because half of the deck, more than half of the deck is banished face down. It's so ridiculous. It deals with your opponent, it hits like engines, you know, like combos from your opponent, shuts down potential combos because you desires your opponent's, you know, cards, banish them all face down. It's so ridiculous to play against this deck. Is it fun? It might be for the first few weeks, but playing against this is so disgusting. And I win this one, even though I got like, what was it, 6th sensed for 6. You like how mind-blowing is that? Your opponent 6 sends you for 6 and you still have card advantage over that. Ah yes, delicious, nutritious. Okay, Crimson Blader indeed was banished from the, you know, the extra deck, and this should be the case. Okay, Swift Scarecrow, but it's not going to matter, right? So next one, Tri-Brigade Zodiac, I go first, and I get failed on Fenrir. I guess you should, yeah, prevent, you know, those searches, but again, the deck is so mind-blowingly consistent that, again, like, you have so many potential follow-up plays, and, well, I'm lucky with those call buys, Master Duel alike, your opponent always having Maxi, but then they always have, like, you know, call buy or, you know, cross out, and here in this case, the call buy was there, My apologies, but again, I can go for full combo and I can put up my Macro Cosmos, and that just, you know, dumps on so many decks. If they're not able to use the graveyard, you almost win instantly, especially if this is like best of one pre-side deck, and they still need to draw in their side deck, right, or into their side deck. It's very hard to win this one, because let's face it, I mean, Tanky searches, Fractal's useless, Karaz is useless, Red, I guess you can go for Trident, but, you know, like, as soon as a Zodiac monster hits the field, I will banish that with a Rise Heart, so the game is pretty much over. So Tanky, that's cool. Fractal is not going to do anything. Shotgun the Red Peer with a Rise Heart, and then, you know, that gets the ball rolling, blocking 2 extra main monster zones, and then the game is over. And so 10-1, we leave it like this. The thing is that it feels really busted, these new KASHTIRA cards, right? And I feel that this could have gone for longer, challenging other decks as well. But this is already 20 minutes long, so I was like, no, let's leave it like this. So if you like have any ideas for potential decks, let me know, but Dark World is already scheduled within the next couple of weeks, as we will be getting that in the TCG as well. Okay, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Liam signing out. Peace.